Morning, guys. We're in Proverbs chapter 13, reading from verse 1 to 8. A wise son accepts his father's discipline, but a scoffer does not listen to rebuke. So, a wise person will always receive a rebuke, receive discipline, because he knows it's good for him. But a scoffer or a fool does not listen, does not receive, always comes with excuses. Chapter 15:5 says, a fool rejects his father's discipline, but whoever heeds reproof shows good sense. So it makes it's wisdom to accept a rebuke. Verse 2, the fruit of a man's mouth he enjoys good, but the desire of the treacherous is violence. And so what's in the heart overflows to the mouth, and the fruit of the mouth is goodness and righteousness, but the fruit of the wicked ultimately is death, and that's why it ends in violence. Verse 3, the one who guards his mouth preserves his life, the one who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. As we chatted last week, holding one's tongue is wise. The tongue is a powerful weapon, and if we use it in the wrong way, it leads to absolute disaster. So we must learn to not always just speak our mind. There's a time to say things, time for rebuke, there's time for correction, time for building up, and there's a time to be silent. In Proverbs 12 verse 23 says, a clever person conceals knowledge, but the heart of a fool announces folly. The heart of the fool just keeps on talking, babbling on, whereas there's certain things that a wise man says, not now. Verse 12:13 says, the evil person is ensnared by the transgression of his speech, but the righteous person escapes out of trouble. So we can avoid a lot of trouble by just holding our tongue. Verse 4 of Proverbs 13, the soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, but the soul of the diligent is made fat. Again, there's just this repetition of these things like the sluggard or the lazy person. It's interesting how it talks about your soul. So even the inner man is affected by that outward laziness. But the soul of the diligent is made fat. And so the diligent person, not the lazy person, is always blessed. Verse 5, a righteous man hates falsehood, but a wicked man acts disgustingly and shamefully. A wise man, righteous man, hates what God hates. And so he hates lies, he hates deceit, he hates everything that's not godly, whereas the wicked man always ends up in those circles. Verse 6, righteousness guards the one whose way is blameless. In Proverbs 11 verse 6 it talks about the righteousness is guiding or delivering, and this verse 6 is guarding the one who is blameless, but the wicked subverts the sinner. When you walk in those ways, there's a guarding, and delivering. Verse 7, there's one who pretends to be rich, but has nothing. Another pretends to be poor, but has great wealth. I'm sure we've seen that on both sides of the spectrum. Come across people who pretend to have a lot more money than they actually do, and then you get those who are actually quite well off, but they pretend to be very poor. And both is deceptive. We need to be honest and not be deceptive with our dealings. Proverbs 11:24 says, one gives freely yet grows all the richer, another withholds what he should and only suffers want. And so we need to, whatever God's blessed us with, be generous, be liberal. Let's not, if we don't have, we're battling, let's not pretend we have and go into debt, and let's not fake it. Verse 8, the ransom of a man's life is his wealth, but the poor hears no rebuke. And so many different proverbs again. Trust that one of those we can apply this week.